Josh Allen completes 9 passes for 131 yards. Sean McDermott opts to have Josh throw the ball 3 straight times at the end of the game that burned the clock, gave the ball back to the Texans, said, sure, we'll kick a field goal and win. Here's Josh.
Didn't complete the ball at a high rate tonight. Put the ball in harm's way, especially early in that first half. But I trust our guys. I know you guys are going to be wild this week, but love my guys, and we're going to keep working. And, this isn't a defining moment in our season. It's a chance to learn and grow from this, and that's what we're going to do.
I guess so. 9 for 30. Strange. Surprised by Allen's struggles.
Well, look, I'm certainly not surprised they lost. I expected Houston to win this game. I'm not surprised Josh didn't go Superman mode, put on his cape. But, of course, I'm surprised he went 9 for 30. I'd be surprised if any quarterback playing past the high school level goes 9 for 30.
Well, it's never happened in the NFL.
Yeah.
No one's ever thrown 30 passes and completed 30%.
9 for – now, look, Josh is still a great quarterback. I don't think anybody's going to deny that. But I think part of this, they're just asking him. They have put him – and Keon Coleman made a great play for their second touchdown.
Yeah, but Shakir was out, and they had nobody else.
Yep. They've put him in position where he has to be Superman, and he can't do it against the good teams. He can do it against the bad and mediocre teams as far as carrying him to a win. Mm-hmm. He has some of – like, look at all – even Mahomes has Kelsey. I mean, all the other quarterbacks that are playing well have some weapons.
Come on.
Is that – you disagree?
It's the NFL. He's completing 9 passes.
Yeah, but it's at the NFL level. No, I'm not taking that away. But he has no weapons. Well, and I'm just saying they put him in position where it's got to be Josh Allen all the time for them to have a chance to beat a good team. And they're not going to beat good teams.
But you would agree he has enough weapons to go 14 for 30.
Yeah, that was,
that could have won. That could have been enough yesterday.
Inexcusable.
So go ahead, Greg. I'll go last.
Yeah, I'm like this. Regardless of who's out there at receiver, I've never seen this. Like, especially from a quarterback of this caliber. Like, for me, watching Josh Allen, I was waiting for him to just cut it loose. Like, I don't care about the interceptions right now. I don't care about mistakes and turnovers. I don't care about any of it.
Well, do you think that's part of it? Because he still hasn't thrown an interception.
I think that is a little bit of it. Like, trying to just rid that turnover idea that we have of Josh Allen. Oh, here comes the turnovers. In this type of moment, in this game, when your best option at receiver is out, you don't have him. Clearly, Stephon Diggs is on the other sideline. Like, look, this is what you got now. Right. Like, you got to make something happen. Like, the idea of pulling a rabbit out of the hat, we've seen Josh Allen do it with better talent, albeit, but still, he's Josh Allen.
But also, this might be to the extremes. And guys, listen, this year I'm the Bills guy on the show.
Yeah.
But sometimes you are who you are, and that he didn't stop being a roller coaster. And I know Rex Ryan and others were like best player in the league after 2 weeks because nobody knows anything, evidently. But this was coming, and it'll go back up. And when it does, someone will once again go on TV and be like, he's quarterback 1A. Like, it just, people are so, when he's rolling, he is so hypnotizing that it is, listen, he's 60% passing for the season.
Right.
Like, this is his 3rd game with 180 or fewer yards this season. They've only played 5. Now, with that said, quickly, when I said my concerns for Buffalo after last week, one of them was McDermott. And the play calling at the end of the game was an abomination. And the other one is this. I don't hold the very end of the game against him because, just my opinion, I can't prove it, but I'm pretty sure that guy, I saw him unconscious on the field 20 minutes before. And I thought we had a concussion protocol. It seemed like they were going to do the concussion protocol, and then there was a quick change, and Josh just ran on the field right after getting smelling salts. So the NFL's done, as a league, a good job on that stuff. I think this game, they screwed up massively. I think that he didn't go through the test, and I saw the hit. So I don't hold the very end of the game against him, but they are, he is going to be this player. His bad games are going to look worse than most great quarterbacks' bad games.
Every year, they sound like a broken record. I feel like we've heard Josh Allen say something
September champs
every year,
season. And then,
all last week we did Jeremy Fowler's big article. Maybe they don't need Stephon. Dak did turn the ball over 3 times, but down 4, 4th and 1, under 30 seconds to go, touchdown. Cowboys win it. Here's Dak on the 70-yard, 15-play game-winning drive. Take a listen.
You're pissed at yourself, like you said, for the turnovers, for the interceptions. But when I realize I have the ball down 4 with an opportunity to score with enough time, plenty of time, that's all I can ask for. You're just thankful you're in that, especially when you've had a game with turnovers, that I still got an opportunity, and we can go win this game.
Okay. Brew, kind of an odd game. Ready to put a grade on the Cowboys' performance.
It is an odd game. I will say this. Dak saved himself with that last touchdown from
The game-winning touchdown on 4th down to save the season?
From an F grade. Yeah. It would have been an F grade. I don't care if he threw for 600 yards. 3 turnovers, 2 of them in the red zone. Like, they marched up and down the field on the Steelers, which is a great defense, and he kept screwing up in the red zone. But I graded this on a curve.
Oh.
You professors, you need to make these decisions sometimes. They were missing, obviously, Micah Parsons, DeMarcus Lawrence, Deron Bland, Brandon Cooks. They needed a win.
And they lost another edge rusher during the game.
And then lost 2 or had 2 offensive linemen back injured. They needed the win because they got Detroit and then the Niners, who were getting desperate, and Atlanta coming up. All right? They stopped the run. Now, Pittsburgh runs a lot. They're not a great run team, but still, they held them under 100 yards, less than 4 yards a carry. Did a good job. So, I am nothing but, if not fair.
High grade.
Really? No, in the context of I think this is fair.
Game.
But they had to have the win.
Yeah.
And they went into a tough area. I know Pittsburgh's offense is horrible. It's horrible. I don't know that Russell Wilson would be better, but they are not good. But
George
still,
Pickens trying.
They had to get a win, and I'll give them a B+ for
So, yeah, I mean, I think that's the minimum grade you could get.
You think an 8?
Well, we said, I thought, when we were discussing the game, and you guys picked the Cowboys and talked about all the...
No, we picked the Steelers.
I'm sorry, picked the Steelers, thank you, and talked about all the reasons the Cowboys were going to lose, and the injuries, and the matchup problems, and I said, so, under that context, if the Cowboys find a way to win, it's an A game. You guys said yes. Now, I understand the context of, but there were 3 bad turnovers. And it could have been a 4th terrible turnover, not on Dak, but the fumble at the goal line, the great play by the kid from Pittsburgh. Dak, though, saved it, as you mentioned, Wilds. I mean, that's a
great play.
That's a huge win.
Yeah.
Right.
It's 4th down, and it's about to be outright panic time for the Cowboys. And a real fair or not Dak Prescott referendum day.
Yeah.
Instead, 4th down a touchdown, down 4, he makes the play to a guy who had just come off the field injured. Like that, and within the context of the conference. Like I know, Brew, last week you were saying the Cowboys are common. Man, aside from Minnesota, who isn't? Like the teams that we think the teams that have been really good over the last few years in that conference. The Niners look worse than Dallas. The Rams look worse than Dallas. They're ravaged by injuries, but they do. I think, you might disagree, Philly looks worse than Dallas. Detroit and Green Bay, to me, look about equivalent to Dallas. So
the Commanders look. I think we have to start.
That's why I said the teams who were the Commanders and Vikings have looked awesome, but those aren't like the perennial powers of the last few years. Now maybe they're all going to pop this year. I don't know, but I also think, and this would be the last point I make, that Greg, the Cowboys through 3 weeks were one of the worst run defenses ever we were talking about, or how bad their run defense was. Since then, we can show it to you. They have been excellent. It was their biggest weakness, and against 2 teams, by the way, the Giants yesterday had no trouble running the ball. Pittsburgh loves to run the ball, even though you're right, Brew, they're not a dynamic offense. So, I thought this was a great moment by Dak and a great team win, even though they didn't play great.
There you go. I thought it was a great team win. I'm shocked that you gave it a B+, but knowing the context of everything, I understand. For me, like watching them play, Like, this wasn't I got to get the ball to CD. Offensively, we're going to be CD-centric. Right. It was spread the ball around, next man up. We're going to use everybody, make a play when your number is called. And most times that numbers were called, Turpin, Tolbert, they all made plays. Jake Ferguson made plays. They even tried to establish